What's going on, guys? Welcome to RedVR's channel. In today's video I'm talking about the Galaxy Note 8 and the iPhone 8. Now, one of the things I've been reading about both of these phones is the fact that both companies, Apple and Samsung, are having an issue including the sensor in the screen. Now, my personal opinion about Samsung and the Galaxy Note 8 is that they should not manufacture the phone without the sensor in the screen, because you're going to have the same situation with the Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus with the sensor on the back of the phone with the camera lenses right next to the sensor. It doesn't make much sense to me. So the whole idea of having a sensor in the screen where you don't have a physical button is a fantastic idea, and this is something that I recommend for both companies. But if we're talking about which company should manufacture the phone first, the Galaxy Note 8 or even the iPhone 8 from Apple, I'm just thinking that either company should just really figure this out first before manufacturing either phone. And it's no offense to Apple if they don't manufacture the phone first, or even Samsung. If you guys have the best phones of the year, I think fans of your companies are just going to figure it out pretty quickly that they would like the best phone rather than having the phone that's announced first. Because if the Galaxy Note 8 is announced first but you're interested in the iPhone 8, what does it really matter, and vice versa? So I just think these companies need to get it right when they manufacture their phone the first time around. As far as when I'm hearing about the Galaxy Note 8, we've been hearing about dual speakers, possibly dual cameras on the back of the phone. Of course, less bezel to both these phones, the iPhone 8 and the Galaxy Note 8, so the phones are going to look fantastic with the screen technology. As far as anything else with these phones, wireless charging possibly for the iPhone, which is a great additional feature. Finally, Apple is going to include that. A lot of fans of Samsung, even people that purchased the Galaxy Note 7, they don't want to know about the issues that Samsung is having with the phone, because right now people just want a better phone, a better version of the Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus, which those two phones are amazing. But the fact that Samsung announces or manufactures phones throughout the year, you have to say that they have to manufacture a better version of those two phones, or else you're just getting another version of the same phone. And that's something I talked about in the previous video. As far as the iPhone 8, I actually think that if Apple can figure this out with the sensor in the screen, and say that Samsung can't figure that out with the Galaxy Note 8, the iPhone 8 is going to be a very impressive phone. Now, I was also thinking, would I switch to an iPhone 8 rather than get the Galaxy Note 8? And I'm not saying I would purchase either phone, because I actually want to compare all the phones. I'm even hearing people talk about the Pixel 2, if Google even names the phone that. But if we're talking about the Galaxy Note 8 and the iPhone 8, I'm not saying I would think iOS is the best experience because I'm a fan of Android. If the Galaxy Note 8 is not the best phone, which I've been saying I think it's going to be the best phone of the year, but say there's issues with manufacturing from Samsung, which is a possibility, then I would say you could look at the iPhone 8. I'm just not sure about the experience with the iPhone 8 with iOS. But besides that, I think the iPhone 8 is going to be a very impressive phone with the hardware. And if any company can figure out these problems with including like a sensor in the screen, I think Apple is one of those companies, because Apple really controls the manufacturing of the phones. So if you think about it, compared to a company like Samsung, of course they're manufacturing their own hardware. But when Samsung has this competition with Apple, sometimes it doesn't always produce the best phones. And we saw that with the Galaxy Note 7. It was a fantastic phone where people were fans of the phone. It was about manufacturing as well, because that's why it had issues. So if Samsung continues to manufacture the phones this way, where they just want to compete with Apple and they're trying to announce the phones before Apple, you might see issues with the phones themselves. If you see the Galaxy Note 8 does not have the sensor in the screen, it has a lot to do with Samsung not being able to accomplish that feature before Apple. So it's like that with Apple and Samsung. But Apple's attitude, from what I'm reading, is that they don't mind delaying the manufacturing because they know they're going to have a great phone. And I think that's something that Apple has to consider when they compete with Samsung, because Samsung has a lot of phones and Apple knows they have to improve their phone. So if you compare the phones, the iPhone and the Galaxy Note 8, there's great technology out there that can be implemented. It's just a matter if they can manufacture those phones, the iPhone and the Galaxy Note 8, fast enough where people realize that those are the best phones available. Because if you don't manufacture the phones at certain points in time throughout the year, you're going to have people go to other companies. Now, Samsung is thinking like that, especially with the Galaxy Note 8. So to some people out there, it might just be about a sensor in the screen. For Samsung, it's about announcing the phone before Apple and having that many more people interested in the Galaxy Note 8. I also think that with the iPhone 8, because you're going to get better hardware, it's a possibility that even if Samsung announces this phone before Apple, a lot of people are going to be interested to see what Apple's manufacturing. That's just the way it is with Apple. And as far as the Galaxy Note 8, I am saying as a fan of Samsung, you guys have to get that right. If you don't manufacture the Galaxy Note 8 as an improved phone from the Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus, people are just going to see another Galaxy phone and they're not going to be that interested in it. I'm not saying the Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus can't compete with Apple, but those phones are really competing with the iPhone 7, 7 Plus if you think about it. Samsung might know what Apple's manufacturing, because Apple has to use other companies to manufacture the hardware. And I'm not saying that to criticize Apple, I'm just saying that Samsung might be aware of some of the hardware that you're going to use. So the Galaxy Note phone is supposed to compete with the best iPhone. That's what I'm saying, that's my personal opinion. Samsung has a lot of fans, and I think they realized a lot of people were fans of the Galaxy Note 7. So with that being said, if you have a lot of fans, you don't necessarily have to manufacture the phone first. So I just think this phone makes a lot more sense having the sensor in the screen. If Samsung doesn't do that, I think it's an issue for Samsung. I really do. And I'm not saying that to criticize Samsung either. I just think that with the iPhone, it's going to be that much more impressive with the sensor in the screen. Very impressive phones from Apple and Samsung. I think they're going to be the phones of the year. As far as Google and the Pixel 2, as some people are calling it, I just think with Google and manufacturing the Pixel phones, what it looks like is that when Google manufactures the Pixel phone, or they select a company that manufactures the phone, just about having another Android phone available for fans of Android. But when you compare all the phones, eventually people are going to say to Google, you know, we're fans of Android, but you have to have phones that actually look nice so people will want to purchase the phone. And again, no offense to Google, but when you manufacture phones in such a way where you select certain manufacturers that are not really that impressive, people are going to notice the differences, especially with Apple and Samsung manufacturing some of the best phones of the year. But I'd like to know what you guys think about all of this. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you think about the iPhone 8, the Galaxy Note 8, and of course if you like this video, give a thumbs up. I'll see you guys next video. Peace out.